Welcome to 21st Sports Recap and Reaction for the Kansas City Chiefs at the Minnesota Vikings in their Week 6 matchup played October 18th, 2015. We're going to go over the scores and the stats and give our breakdown and analysis. So starting off in the first quarter, with about a little less than 6 minutes still left in the first, Blair Walsh put the first points on the scoreboard with a 24-yard field goal, and it was 3-0 Minnesota over Kansas City. So now in the second quarter, the Vikings would get a touchdown as Bridgewater hit the tight end Kyle Rudolph for a 4-yard touchdown pass. Blair Walsh added the extra point, and it was 10-0 Vikings over the Chiefs. So that was the score at halftime. Then in the third, Blair Walsh hit his second field goal of the game, a 45-yarder, with about 9 minutes still left in the third, and it was 13-0 Minnesota over Kansas City as the Vikings were dominating this game. Then in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs finally got on the scoreboard after being shut out for 3 quarters as Cairo Santos took the goose egg off the scoreboard for the Chiefs with a 48-yard field goal to put 3 points on the scoreboard a little less than 2 minutes into the fourth, as it was now a 10-point game with the score Minnesota 13, Kansas City 3. Then, with a little less than 9 minutes left to play in the fourth, Alex Smith hit Albert Wilson for a 42-yard touchdown. Santos added the extra point, and all of a sudden it was a 3-point game with plenty of football left to play. So it was 13-10 at this point. And Minnesota bounced back on their next possession, driving down the field, 10 plays and 53 yards, eating up 4 minutes. And with a little less than 5 minutes left to play, Blair Walsh hit his third field goal of the game, this one from 45 yards out. And it was now 16-10 as Minnesota extended their lead to 3. But they were in danger as all the Chiefs needed was a touchdown with the extra point to potentially win this game. And they had plenty of time still left on the clock as there was just under 5 minutes left. But 2 plays later, after first getting a 37-yard reception by Travis Kelce on the first play of their next possession, it was now 1st and 10 on the Minnesota 43. And Chakandrick West fumbles the ball. It would be recovered by Robeson, and now Minnesota would get the ball back. So Chakandrick West fumbles the ball late in the game as he was getting the start over Niall Davis as he was higher up on the depth chart after Jamal Charles went down last week, and he fumbles, and that right there put them in a precarious position. But the defense came up big. They forced a 3-and-out by Minnesota. And now the Chiefs had another opportunity. So with less than 3 minutes left, they had the ball on their own 20. Smith would hit Niall Davis for a 12-yard reception that brought the ball to the Kansas City 32. But then 4 straight incomplete passes by Alex Smith, and the ball would be turned over on downs. So they turned the ball over on downs, and so now all that was left to do was for Bridgewater to line up the Vikings in the victory formation. They took a couple knees, and this game came to a close. So the Vikings hold on to win 16-10 as their defense comes up big in this one, holding the Chiefs to just 10 points. They are undefeated in Minnesota as that defense plays exceptionally well in the Great North. So 3-0 at home. They're 3-2 on the season as they've not lost at home, but they haven't won on the road. And for the Chiefs, they fall to 1-5. They also lost Jeremy Maclin. He went down in this game. Hopefully he's all right, but things just keep looking worse for Kansas City this year as they've been very injury prone, and they are well underperforming the talent that they have on that roster, especially on defense. 1 for 3 on the road, 1 for 5 on the season. So it was a low-scoring game here. The Vikings shut out the Chiefs for the first 3 quarters. The Chiefs made it interesting there with 10 points in the fourth, but not enough against these Vikings. For some reason in Minnesota, the Vikings on defense are like a whole different team. They play so much better. They actually, in Minnesota, they show the flashes of brilliance, dare I say, that, going into the season, I thought Minnesota would be a better team because even last year we saw how good they were playing at home And, they have a young defense. They've got a lot of talent on that defense. And when they're in Minnesota, they play up to that talent level, but they need to have that translate on the road. They need that defense to travel if they're going to end up going anywhere here in 2015. They still, they need to have more production from Bridgewater. Of course, every quarterback has his ups and downs, and today was a rough day for Bridgewater, but they still came away with the W, and that's what really counts at the end of the day. And so, moving forward, you just got to try to protect the ball better, really, is what he's got to do. They were committed to the run, even though they didn't get much production out of the run. Like I said, their defense kept them in this one, and they beat up on a team that's already pretty beat up. And this season's really, it's like over for Kansas City already here in October, especially Jamal Charles, now Macklin goes down. And you just got to wonder, even regardless, what is wrong with Kansas City? What is going on? But the thing is that, a lot of times in football, it's like people are too quick to want to just get rid of a coach, or they're too quick to, just point the fingers. But really, if you look back the history of football, some of the greatest coaches have had losing seasons. But, if you think that you can just go out and hire anybody and just bring them in and they're going to go to the Super Bowl, that don't happen. If you have somebody set up ahead of time that is a good coach to come in, then maybe you move on to the next option. But if there's not really someone already in mind to take their place, then you kind of want to stick with a guy like Andy Reid, is what I'm getting at. Like I said, if you got maybe John Gruden, if he's going to come in, he could turn Kansas City around. But unless you get somebody like that, then you're probably better off with Andy Reid, as he is actually a really good coach. And you wonder, why are they playing so bad? But, like I said, sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. Sometimes you have a losing season. And, we'll see what happens moving forward for the Chiefs. I thought this was going to be the year. I thought last year was going to be the year. Maybe it is Reid. I don't know. Let me know what you think, though, in the comment section below. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for listening. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you're having a good day and had a great weekend and enjoyed all the sports.